It had been many years since Iris had taken up the mantle of the keeper of the song. Under her guidance, the seas had remained peaceful, and the people who lived by the shores spoke of her kindness, wisdom, and courage. She was revered across the lands, but Iris never sought recognition. The conch was a sacred responsibility, and she wielded its power with humility. One day, as the sun set over the horizon, casting golden hues across the waters, Iris felt something stirred deep within the sea. It was faint at first, like a whisper on the breeze, but it grew stronger with each passing moment. The sea was calling again. Iris stood on the cliffs, her heart heavy with the weight of a new journey. The song was different this time, darker, more mysterious. It spoke of a place she had never ventured before, a place that lay far beneath the waves, deep within the ocean's heart. The abyss. Few had spoken of the abyss, and even fewer had dared to explore its depths. It was a realm of legend, a place where the light of the sun could never reach, where ancient and forgotten things lay hidden in the darkness. The sea itself had always seemed to avoid it, as though even the waves feared what lay within. But now, something in the abyss was stirring, and the sea was calling Iris to it. With little time to waste, Iris set out on her journey. She sailed far beyond the familiar shores of her village, beyond the calm waters she had always known. Days turned into weeks as she traveled into the unknown, the skies growing darker and the waters colder with each passing mile. As she neared the abyss, the sea grew still, unnaturally quiet, as if holding its breath. The surface of the water was like glass, smooth and unbroken, reflecting the stormy clouds above. But beneath the surface, Iris could sense something moving, something ancient and powerful. One night, as she rested on the deck of her small ship, Iris heard a sound that sent a chill down her spine. It was a song, faint and distant, coming from the depths of the ocean. It wasn't the song of the sea that she knew. It was something else, something older, more primal. The song of the abyss. Iris gripped the golden conch tightly. She had never heard this song before, but she knew it was calling her. She had no choice but to dive into the unknown. The next morning, Iris prepared for her descent. With the golden conch strapped securely to her side, she took a deep breath and leaped into the water. The sea embraced her, and she swam down, deeper and deeper, the light of the sun fading above her until there was only darkness. But Iris was not afraid. The conch glowed faintly at her side, casting a soft golden light that illuminated her path. As she descended into the abyss, she could feel the weight of the ocean pressing down on her, the water growing colder and thicker with each stroke. Finally, after what felt like hours, Iris reached the entrance to the abyss, a massive, jagged chasm in the ocean floor, so dark and deep that it seemed to swallow all light. The song was louder now, echoing up from the depths, a haunting melody that pulled at Iris's heart. Without hesitation, she swam into the chasm. The abyss was unlike anything Iris had ever seen. The water here was thick and heavy, like ink, and the walls of the chasm were covered in strange, glowing corals and plants that seemed to pulse with their own light. strange creatures swam past her. Creatures with long, serpentine bodies and glowing eyes. Creatures that looked as though they had been born in the darkness. But Iris pressed on, her heart steady. She could feel the song guiding her, pulling her deeper into the abyss. After what felt like an eternity, Iris reached the bottom of the chasm. There, in the center of the dark abyss, she saw something that took her breath away. It was a massive, ancient temple, carved from the very stone of the ocean floor. The temple was covered in intricate carvings and symbols, some of which glowed faintly in the darkness. At the center of the temple was a massive door, sealed shut with chains of coral and stone. And from behind the door, Iris could hear the song of the abyss, clearer than ever before. As Iris approached the door, she felt a strange sensation wash over her, a deep, ancient power that seemed to resonate with the golden conch at her side. The door was not just a physical barrier, it was a magical seal, one that had been placed here long ago to keep something inside. But the seal was weakening. Iris could feel it in the water around her. Whatever was inside the temple was trying to escape, and the sea had called her here to stop it. Taking a deep breath, Iris placed her hand on the door. The carvings began to glow brighter, and the chains of coral slowly unwound themselves. With a deep rumble, the door swung open, revealing a vast chamber within. At the center of the chamber stood a massive glowing orb, pulsating with energy. The orb was the source of the Song of the Abyss, and as Iris approached it, she realized that the orb was a prison. Inside it, trapped for centuries, was an ancient creature of the deep, a creature so powerful that the sea itself had sealed it away. The creature was a leviathan, a being of immense size and strength, with scales that shimmered like the night sky, and eyes that glowed with a pale, eerie light. It was a creature born from the very depths of the ocean, a creature of both beauty and terror. And it was waking up. Iris knew what she had to do. She could not let the Leviathan escape, for if it did, it would wreak havoc on the seas and the world above. But she also knew that the Leviathan was not evil. It was simply ancient, misunderstood, and filled with a power that was too great for the world to handle. Using the golden conch, Iris began to play the Song of the Sea, a melody that had calmed storms and soothed restless waters. The song echoed through the chamber, filling the dark, oppressive space with light and warmth. At first, the Leviathan resisted, thrashing against its prison. But slowly, as Iris played, the creature began to calm. Its massive body relaxed, and its glowing eyes softened. It listened to the song, just as Iris had listened to the sea for all these years. And then, something incredible happened. The Leviathan began to sing. Its voice was deep and resonant, a sound that vibrated through the very core of the earth. It was not a song of destruction, but a song of balance, a song that had been forgotten by the world. The Leviathan's song merged with Iris's, creating a harmony that was both powerful and serene. The sea, the abyss, and the ancient creature were all connected by this song, a song that spoke of the cycles of life, death, and rebirth, of the mysteries of the deep and the beauty of the unknown. With the song complete, the Leviathan, now calm and at peace, returned to its slumber, and the orb that held it glowed brighter, its seal renewed. Iris knew that the creature was not evil. It was simply a part of the ocean's ancient past, a being that needed to remain hidden, protected by the sea itself. With a sense of fulfillment, Iris swam back to the surface, her heart light and her spirit calm. She had faced the abyss, not with fear or power, but with understanding. The sea had called her, and she had answered. As she broke the surface of the water, the sun was rising, casting golden light across the ocean. The sea was calm, and the world was at peace once more. And Iris, the keeper of the song, knew that this was just the beginning of many more adventures to come. Back in her village, Iris shared her tale with the people, not as a hero, but as a listener of the sea. The villagers, in awe, thanked her for her bravery. But Iris knew that true bravery was not in defeating the Leviathan. It was in understanding its song. And so the song of the sea continued, carried on by the wind and the waves, guiding Iris and all who would listen to its ancient, eternal melody.